Bum, bum.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
this is the Off the Cuff podcast. I'm Justin DeWeese. That's my unprepared wife, Ashley DeWeese. Didn't have her mic on, ready to go. First time recording a podcast. Don't know what the hell we're doing. That's zero excuse.
I was just stating the facts.
GYST, ma'am.
Don't give me acronyms this early.
Now I have to think.
Take the
Ew.
time to figure that out.
So,
Woo! What a week.
kids are back in school.
Officially today.
Thank
It's the first
the
full day.
Lord. I'm so tired of hearing, can we have device time? Can I have a snack? Can we have device time? Can I have a snack? Ah,
True.
it'd be nice.
It will be nice, but then we'll settle into a flow and I'll be like, oh, they're gone so long every single day. I know you won't.
That makes one of
We
us.
don't need to belabor because I think we talked about this last episode too. So
I don't know if it's the last episode, but anyway, what else big happened this week?
that's like when your wife comes up to you and goes, "Do you know what today is?"
Right.
And you're like quickly you're racking your brain. Ugh.
Stereotypical because our relationship is reverse.
Yeah,
I'd go
Justin
up to her
is
and be
like,
like, do you know what today is? And she'd be like, oh, pop test day? What else big happened this week? I can't believe you're brain farting on this.
what
I'm
big?
embarrassed.
What else big happened this week?
Yeah. Oh man. Aura minus 1 million.
I don't know.
What'd your girl do?
Oh, I was like, oh. Well, that tells you that like I'm not a, 100% full send Swifty.
Her badgering the shit out of her family to the side because when, if you're not aware, and I hope to God you're not, because that makes you a decent human being,
Oh.
Taylor Swift announced her new album this week.
I
Ah!
don't even like I anytime an artist that I love or like is releasing something new, like I'm always interested in what will it be like, right? But to be honest with you, it had nothing to do with her potentially announcing a new album that I was excited before. I was excited because one, this is the first interview that she's done in a very long time. And two, I love her and Travis together, and I just wanted the opportunity to see them in the same room, letting us all at least have a glimpse as to what they're like.
So the rest of the DeWeese family got 3,000% exposure to clips and reels and oh my gosh, look at this.
I love her. I love him. They're not perfect people. No one is, but I think they are two of the best people and couple to be having this public eye right now. With the options that we have available, they're two great examples, I think.
Well, sure.
And like I've said before, I feel like they're very similar to us. So
Only not as cool. Clearly.
clearly, clearly. That's why no one knows about us yet on that level.
Right. We're like hipster 9,000 level cool. Like only the really cool people know about us.
Right, like the band that
Right.
like only a few
Right.
people know, and yeah,
And
yeah,
then once word gets out,
yeah.
watch out.
So soak it up now.
Right.
Soak it up now that you're
You
on the
you
inside.
can be like, I was listening to that podcast before the paparazzi were following
Right.
them.
Right. So, was that it? Was that all that you wanted to?
No. What
Okay.
else happened this week?
Oh my gosh. It's all a blur, to be honest with you. We are coaching. I don't know. Did we announce that we officially accepted the position?
Not really, I don't think.
Yeah. So, anyways, you are looking at the official head varsity volleyball coach
Big
and
ups.
head assistant volleyball coach
That's me.
for our Christian school here in town where our children attend. Um, and while we are excited, we wouldn't have thrown our name in the hat if we weren't willing to do it. But it's a transition.
It is a
So
transition.
not only are we in the back to school transition, but we are also in the transition of,
Putting practices together every day.
right, and we're neither one foreign to the area of volleyball. But again, it's something new. It's something we weren't necessarily anticipating being a part of, but here we are. And we're really excited about it, but that is contributing to my brain being
Well, and
mush.
listen, there's a difference between knowing how to and enjoying playing the game of volleyball. That'd be
Absolutely.
me. There's a big gap between that and then being able to successfully instruct the sport of
Right.
volleyball. I cannot do that. I'm a great assistant coach from a standpoint of
Amazing.
I'm really good at yelling, hustle, move your feet, shuffle, get lower, the basics, right?
Or I can be like, I need to focus on this. Can you go take care of that?
Right. So there's playing, there's being able to provide instruction, and then way over here is the ability to craft a practice plan that is moving your team towards its goals and the player's development.
Yeah, moving your team towards its goals, also individual player growth and development, as well as positively impacting and influencing the athletes that we have in front of us, not just from a sports perspective, but just as humans, right?
And so maybe you're sitting there listening going, I don't care, DeWeese. Why are you talking about volleyball coaching? I'm never going to coach volleyball. I don't need to know these levels.
Never say never.
True. Well, yeah, we're perfect examples of never say never. Because I made a post this week. I was like, if you had Justin DeWeese coaching high school girls volleyball somewhere on your it's going to happen in 2025 list, I want to hear your stock market predictions because you can obviously see the future.
Here because I think it's interesting how God works, right?
Sure.
And as we reference our faith from time to time and, the plan that he has laid out for us, I just it's interesting to be able to look at it through that angle because when, way back in the day when you were exploring what you wanted to do with your life, one of the things that you were interested in doing was what?
Being a teacher.
Being a teacher. And specifically, didn't you want to be a PE teacher?
No,
Oh, why do I think that? Why did I think that?
because I'm a physical specimen. And so, of course, I would teach physical education, but no.
Well, nevertheless, he wanted he wanted to be a teacher.
She just makes crap up.
He wanted to be a teacher, but you knew like financially
Yeah, I looked
that
at the
was
paycheck my mom was bringing home, said, no, no, I'm not going to do that.
there's so many great qualities. I mean, like it's the perfect fit as far as teaching and working with youth and
Well, we could go down that rabbit hole of how many amazing teachers do we lose
right.
because we don't pay
Um,
them.
right. Maybe on another podcast.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
anyways, my point here is it's to me, it's kind of like, I don't know if you'd say full circle, but I believe God places opportunities in
sure.
our past that align with things that maybe at times we think just weren't meant for us.
Opportunities in our past or
I mean,
opportunities in our path.
I'm telling you, this is the brain is shot, but I better get it together because we've got our
First
first
games tomorrow.
games are tomorrow.
And not only our first games tomorrow,
My assistant coach
I'm not going to be there because Dax is playing soccer elsewhere.
selected, because he's the yin to my yang. He's the when she's going crazy, I will
I'm the
keep the
gentle to her cheese grater.
about to flip out. I can be like, "Hey, I need you to handle this," and he will. Yeah, and of course,
She's
first
flying
thing that
solo.
he's gotta go be a parent to our other kid.
But anyway, I mentioned those levels. And like I said, maybe you looked at it and like, "Oh, I'm not going to volleyball coach. I don't care." But it's the same sort of thing across every aspect of life, right? So let's say you decide you want to get healthy. You want to lose some weight. You want to start being better about things, right? Over here, there's just like the basic, like, I'm just going to start running. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to go jog every day. I'm not going to change anything else, but I'm going to jog. So I'm getting healthy, right? And then over here, you dig into it and you find a program or a plan or whatever, and you're following and you're eating better and you're doing the things, and that's great, and you're going to see some results. And then way over here is when you decide, you know what? This is not my wheelhouse. I don't I don't want to go dig and find enough to know about putting together a workout, putting together a nutrition plan, and you start working with somebody that helps you do that, right? And you can look at that from a relationship perspective, from an employment perspective. There's the I am aware this thing exists and perhaps I enjoy it, to I'm quasi okay with it and I can maybe tell someone else about it, to I someone knows all these things and I can rely on their expertise.
Right. And the idea that if you want to be better, getting people in your life who can help you do that. And sometimes you are that person for other people.
Sure, yeah, of course.
I think the other thing that comes to mind as we go through this experience, and it's something that, I talk to my clients about all of the time, and we talk to each other about, is the idea of like staying ready, right? Um, Being able to step into an opportunity, like being the kind of person, having the physical fitness, having certain skills to be able to seize an opportunity that's available or to fulfill a need that comes across
Right.
your path. Um, I just think about in all the ways that we will be working with these athletes, not just from the volleyball perspective, but like I'm thankful that we are people who are physically fit. I'm thankful that we have a knowledge of what healthy nutrition looks like, what healthy nutrition looks like for athletes. I'm thankful for our walk with Christ and the values we hold there and how we can be able to mentor and implement in that capacity. Like just all of those things that we have done as individuals to better ourselves. And then, of course, enhance our marriage, enhance our parenting and family life. This now also is able to carry over
Right.
to have a positive influence and impact on these young women. And so as we, talk about on various episodes of the importance of self-development, of you having the desire to become better in all capacities of your life, that at the same time, it's always greater than you. Because you never know what opportunities are going to come across.
Right.
You never know who you're going to be influencing or asked to influence or help. And so the more you can be bettering yourself, the greater impact you can have on others in a positive way.
Speaking of impact on others in a positive way, this is a big thing that happened this week that you missed. So we go to the gym every morning. And, if you go to a place at the same time, you tend to see the same people. And so we see all the same people. And there's this couple there, and you can visibly see the progress they've been making in the gym.
Which is such a breath of fresh air because let me just get on the soapbox for a quick moment. Quick. I don't want to see people coming to the gym that just look the same all of the time. Unless the same means they're already like at their peak
Right.
and they don't have anything, they're really just maintaining where they're at. But in general, like there's nothing, I shouldn't say, I need a new phrase because I can't say there's nothing that annoys me more because the list
Because
goes.
everything annoys you more.
But no,
You know what grinds my gears?
I just don't enjoy seeing people who are frequently showing up to exercise, for example, but you can't tell that they're making progress. And for anyone out there going like, you can't always tell on the outside what's happening, because I believe that too. But at some point, there should be some visible changes that people can see. And so it's disheartening, and not because I have these like, oh, you have to meet my standards. I would like to see people having transformation if they are taking the time to put in some sort of time and effort to the process. That's
Right,
all I
because
mean.
we're at the gym at 4:30 in the morning. And I can't imagine a life more frustrating than going to the gym at 4:30 every morning and never changing. Like that, I'd be like, what am I doing? Anyway, so there's this couple, visible progress. They're looking great. They're doing the things. And so my lovely wife came to me a couple weeks ago
Well, like a couple months ago, to be honest. It's been like 2 months now.
and she said, I really feel like going up and, telling this lady that I can see that she's been making progress but man, I don't really feel comfortable doing that sort of thing.
Well, people are like, I'm a human too, so you get in your head and you're like, is she gonna think like I'm a weirdo? Like, what is she, whatever. But I have in recent years kept it on the brain that like those are the things that we actually need to verbalize
Right.
to others, right? Because like how often, and this is a challenge for you, like how often do you think some sort of positive thought like that in your brain about someone else, but you don't actually tell them. And so it's not that it's not a bad thing that you had this positive thought about them, but like wouldn't it do way more good if you actually shared it with them so they knew
So,
the next time? So I talked to him about that, and then the very next time we were at the gym and they showed up, I did go over to her, which I think we shared about on an episode, but I startled her a little bit because let's be honest, I can be a little startling. What?
ah, oh, sorry, you startled me.
Anyways, and I told her, I shared it with her. She was very thankful for the compliment and appreciated me sharing that with her. And then we went on about our workouts and have continued to do so. So now, like, fast forward, like I said, like a couple months later,
To just the other day,
yeah, I was on the leg curl machine,
nope.
right? Nope, I was on the overhead press
There
machine.
you go. Basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing. I
And
just,
I'm
I just
across the
do
gym and I'm
I just do what my coach's
right.
thing
And
says.
I look over and I see that lady approaching Ashley. And my first thought was someone had left a water bottle on that machine. And so Ashley didn't want to use the machine. I kind of pay attention to things around the gym.
Unwritten etiquette at the
Right.
gym, by the way.
We'll tackle that in another episode. Stay off the soapbox. So I just picked up a water bottle, took the trash, threw it away because it was a store-bought water bottle. It wasn't like a shaker bottle. And so I thought, uh-oh, that was her water bottle. And she's coming over to be like, what'd you do to my water bottle? But instead,
No, instead, she had come over and was standing there, so I took my earbud out and she said something to the effect of, she was like, and she said, she speaks with an accent, so it is a little bit challenging for me to completely understand her, but she was like, I just want to tell you that when that what you said to me, a couple of months ago, she said, it really impacted me, and I've still been thinking about it, and those words just really meant a lot to me. And I told her, I was like, oh, I'm so glad. I said, we need to hear those things about ourselves. I know what it's like to be putting in work and, sometimes feeling like you're not making progress. And so when other people notice, like, it's just another vote of confidence of like, yes, like what I'm doing is paying off. I said, so I'm glad that that made you feel that way. And then she proceeded to share ultimately that she said, I also wanted to tell you that you and your husband have been very inspiring to me and my husband. She said, I've actually been paying attention to what you guys are doing for a long time. And then she shared that she had children and then I think actually worked at the elementary school that Ayla and Dax went to, which was pre-vid
so a
a
while
long
ago.
time ago, years ago. And so she referenced how her connection there at the school and how she remembered us from there. And so I guess she follows us on social media. I was unaware, but she said that she had been following us for years now since we were at the same elementary school as her family and herself, and that we had just been very inspiring and had really helped her and her husband to get going in their journey and whatnot. And I didn't even tell you this, but I'm not typically like a just like lose it crier. That's just not.
Unless she's watching reels on the treadmill. And then it's open season.
And if it's like that time of the month, like it's
Forget
game
about
over.
it.
But typically I'm not. But my eyes did well up that day after she walked away because, again, it's just there's always people paying attention. And, you know, as someone who very intentionally has shared not 100%, but like a very, very high percentage of herself and her journey and her life on social media for the last 10 years, I obviously am aware that there are people who follow and pay attention. But it never fails to hit me in the heart when someone who I am unaware
Right.
is paying attention makes it known. And it's just a philosophy that over the last few years I've continued to keep in my mind that, you're not always going to know who you're impacting, which was true when I was teaching as well. I
Of
mean,
course.
it's not just in this particular area, like in any area of your life, just because you are walking this planet, there are people who are looking to you and you are influencing them in one way or another. And you don't have a choice over that. I think
Right.
sometimes like people tell themselves, well, I don't want to be a role model.
Yep. Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model.
I want to have influence over people. Well, sorry, but by your pure existence,
Right.
you're having impact on other people. Now, whether you want to accept that responsibility and ownership is another story, but you are influencing people. And so it's always greater than you. It's always greater than you. And I think a very powerful question that we can ask ourselves on the regular is what kind of influence do I want to have on others? Like, are people better for encountering me in any capacity, online, offline, as a mentor, as just a human being? Are people better off once they've encountered me, or have they been negatively impacted when they encounter me? I mean, I think that's the bottom line that is applicable to anything.
Right. So you never know.
You never know. And again, it all circles back to the answer to that question, like what kind of influence you want to be. And I would hope that you want to have a positive impact on people, which means you have to use that as accountability for yourself to keep yourself in check with how you're showing up in life. What are your core values? What standards do you abide by? Um, what kind of energy do you bring to the table? How do people feel when they're around you? How do they talk about you when you're not around? And there's always going to be the outliers.
Of course.
But overall, like you have to craft that experience.
Right.
And so what you do on the daily for your own personal growth or lack thereof is significant in your life and the life of others.
So as we wrap up this episode, that's been a little bit of here and there.
But there's been a nice,
I know. Listen,
oh, rock hard, huh?
something like that. There's two things we want you to take away from this. Number one, that question, what kind of influence, what kind of impact do I want to have on those around me? Number two is a challenge to see someone doing good or better than they were, whatever, something positive, and verbally acknowledging it to that person. Because to the point of the story, like Ashley didn't do that out of any sort of external motivation. She didn't want the lady to give her a hug. She wasn't trying to whatever, right? She just wanted to say, hey, I've seen your progress. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. Keep going. So we challenge you to find something in your life where you can encourage someone. Hey, I saw you killed that presentation at work. Good job. Or whatever, right? There's 1,000 opportunities. You've got to look for them.
You can share it verbally. You could send a quick text message, which would take 20 seconds.
Nut up and do it verbally.
Well, no, but sometimes maybe we can't. Maybe there's someone who's far away from us that we want to share.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Sure.
But I think another way to help you with this is to think to yourself, like, what are you appreciative, right? Like I don't need someone to tell me they can see my progress, but I really do like it when someone shares that they've noticed or
Right.
that I've inspired them. I don't need someone to tell me that my presentation was amazing, but it is nice to hear, right? So when you think about it in terms of, well, hey, do I like it when someone shoots me that gratefulness text or someone comes up to me face to face and gives me a compliment? Well, yeah, okay. Well, are you offering what it is you like to receive? Are you giving that back to others? And you will find 1,000 times over that giving that kind of gratitude and compliments away to others is far more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Impactful.
I don't know. It just feels a lot, it feels even better than receiving it for yourself.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So, anywho.
That's it for this week.
Grab a nugget out of there for yourself that you're going to go apply in your life.
Do the two things we just talked about
Yeah.
and rewind if you
Or
missed them.
come find you.
Hunt you down like a pig.
And I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do something.
It won't be nice.
It won't be nice because we can be not very nice.
Especially now.
Anyways,
Love y'all.
see you next week.
See you next week.